I woke up this morning and Jim Cramer was telling everyone to sell oil. So I will go ahead and sell oil. Let's see if you're right on this one, Jim. I usually do the exact opposite of what you say.
I just want all of the money. Do you know what I said? I gotta get the dinero, the cash, and the bread. Money. Do you know what?
It's been a boring week this past week. Honestly, I haven't been able to trade any major names that you guys may have heard of. I've been doing a lot of S&P futures, oil futures, but one of the biggest issues that I've been facing is volume has been kind of low in the market. It is summertime. It is a week before earnings season, so volume tends to be a little bit on the lower side. Beyond that, the VIX is actually pretty low. When the VIX is really low, it really sucks as a trader because as a trader, you want to see the stock market move up and down. You want to see some movement in stock prices, some swings. That's how you make money as a stock trader. During these times, what I tend to do is actually sell covered call options. Truth be told, most of the time these options contracts expire worthless. I have obviously bought options, I've used butterfly spreads, and I've used all different types of option strategies, but the ones that consistently make me money for the most of the time are actually selling covered options. And it's something that you guys have probably seen a lot of my trades in the past. It's something I routinely use as a way of generating some passive income. Let's go over the example with Square here right now. I'm back in my trading room right now. It's a bit of a mess. I have tons of water bottles back there. Drink lots of water, it's good for your skin. I'm gonna open the other camera so you guys can see this. I sold it for $1.13, assuming that it'll expire worthless by August 2nd. Essentially that it'll never hit its price of $80 a share by August 2nd. Unfortunately for me, timing is everything, and I picked one of the worst times to sell those covered calls on Square stock. I've run into the issue lately that the stock has run up well above the price that I am going to get called out on. With FireEye, I'm doing okay. This call option is for the 2nd of August. It's the 14th of July right now. In 3 weeks, this options contract essentially expires. I'll make about $200 if FireEye stays below $17 a share. Kind of my earnings trade on Netflix, so I don't want to talk about that too much right now. I sold 2 covered calls on Nvidia. Nvidia is at 160 for August 2nd, but Nvidia is at 167. So I'm gonna get called out of Nvidia. Square, you guys have been seeing me hold Square for a while. It just had such a massive move. I have 3 covered calls here, and I have another 3 covered calls here on Square, and it looks like I'm going to get called out of Square. The last thing I kind of want to go over is Tesla. I have a covered call here for the 250 price. Now, Tesla, I also shorted 100 shares and sold a covered put. Tesla is such a volatile instrument that I feel like it's profitable to be selling options contracts both ways on a covered call and a covered put on Tesla. I always tell people, just take profit when you can. Don't try to worry about squeezing every freaking dollar out of every trade. When you try to do that, that's how you lose money. And that's kind of why I like using covered call options on a lot of names and a lot of stock, because it kind of forces you to find a point to get out of the name. So yes, I'm gonna be getting called out of Square, but it's not the end of the world because I've been selling Square call options for a long time. Previously, I kept selling them and the price of Square kept falling, so I just made money off selling options premiums. Unfortunately, this time I sold it, and I'm forced to sell Square now at $80 a share. So what? I got Square for a lot lower than $80. I still made money on the trade, and that's the most important thing. Becoming a day trader is actually very hard. Not everyone can do it. Not everyone can stay calm when they're losing money. Not everyone has that natural instinct, right? And for that reason, I feel like this is actually an easier way for a lot of people who want to get into trading to get their first taste of actually making money by, buying some stocks, some decent names, but also selling covered calls on these names. I hope you learned something from this video. You know, if you have some more questions, I can go into a little bit more detail about options trading and things like that. I just kind of wanted to make this video for people who aren't that familiar with why I sell covered calls so often. Well, thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Jim Cramer recommended this, but truth be told, you should do the exact opposite of what Jim Cramer tells you to do. And I'm just gonna close this out.
Just want all of the